Yeah,
great.
yeah. I mean, Fremont's been. I mean, they've done so much. Which I always tell people that they've done so much for that downtown area. Over the past 5 or 6 years, it's such a fun place. It seems to be more popular than the Strip is now. So yeah, it's always great to be able to see that as well. Like I said, they always have live music, free live music out there on the on Fremont Street as well. And plus, they have a really good festival grounds out there as well. So yeah, it's kind of great to be able to see that as well. So hopefully, yeah, you guys can come out here and perform during that. But speaking of which, I mean, how's it for you guys? Performing as well. I mean, like I said, you've got that experience under your belt of going on tour and all that, and seeing crowds all across the United States. How's it been for you this past year to do any performing?
You know what? It's been a good year. I enjoy traveling, and the brothers and I we do enjoy traveling. But at the same time, it's been actually nice for it to kind of slow down. We're doing a lot of radio stuff right now, but radio and TV stuff. But it's been nice to kind of be at home and be close to Mama and the dog. So.
Yeah. Now, when you're on stage, do you like a bigger stage? Like more festival-ish, or just a bigger stage to be able to have a huge crowd, or do you like more of an intimate stage where you get to get a little bit closer to the fans? You get to do it. I mean, is there any preference for you on that?
I love playing festivals. Festivals are always fun. It's a different crowd. I'd like to do it more. But I also enjoy the intimate songwriter type venues where people are you could hear a pin drop and people are listening and hanging on every word that you say. Those are cool venues to play too. I like them both. Do I like the festival scene better? Maybe. Maybe, but at the same time, it's nice to be able to play both of them and to be able to experience, because they're two different worlds. I like them both. You guys have worked and performed with several different mainstream artists. You've opened up for Alison Krauss, who's I think is now a legend in bluegrass music. Ricky Skaggs, who's a legend in country music as well. I mean, how's it been for you to kind of work with some of these acts? Did you ever, get a lot of good advice from them? I would say, yeah. I mean, I've gotten some advice from them, and a lot of those shows came back when we were playing with our family band. Honestly, just to sit back and watch them perform and be able to play to some of their crowds, it's like, man, I have a lot of respect for what they've been able to build, and how their ability to be able to control an audience and put an audience in the palm of their hand, and it's pretty cool to be a part of that,
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it's just, it's kind of hard almost sometimes just to be opening up for a big act like that, just because, the fan, you don't know what the fans are, the fans, there's kind of like a give and take where you don't know exactly how the fans are going to react, or, the fans don't know what to exactly expect. So it's one of those things where, it's always kind of tough sometimes just opening up for that as well. But, like I said, country music fans have a tendency to be very polite, and they have a tendency to be really good, especially to performers that really know how to do it. Especially considering you guys are experienced talent as well. I mean, how's it been for you to to kind of get over that kind of hump a little bit, and what's been the reaction to the crowd, and have you gained a lot of fans that way?
You know what, we have, I think. And it's kind of funny, coming from, because we've come from it's funny, like we were talking about this the other day. It's when we first come to Nashville, everybody's like, well, you got to pay your dues, and most people don't realize that. Something I struggled with is like, man, most people don't realize what we just came from. We come from playing 4 and 5 shows a day and we had played more shows than most mainstream artists play in a year's time, in a month's period of time. So, as far as the industry is concerned, that was one of the things. They're like, well, you got to pay your dues, but most people didn't realize, and still don't realize, what we've come from and what we've done prior to even moving to Nashville and becoming the Flat River Band. We all three played together our whole lives for 20 years before we even moved to town, and played music parks and festivals all across the United States. So does it count for something? I think it counts for a lot as far as the experience. It means a lot as far as experience goes. So for the people that know it, they respect it. So yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, I talked to a lot of comedians on the show, and and I talked to them a little bit about, you have to get that experience in where, you go across the country and you kind of take your blows, as it were, some of the places that you do wind up playing, because sometimes those knocks that you get sometimes is going to make you stronger in the end, and you get to kind of almost feel how to adapt in terms of crowds and all that as well. So I mean, it's great to have that experience under your belt in terms of that as well. So it's very similar to that, what you were saying, very similar to what a lot of comedians were talking about to me, off and on throughout the years.
For sure, yes, I totally agree.
And I mean, what are we looking forward to next year? I mean, are you guys gonna be touring a little bit more?
I think I definitely see that in the future, us touring more. I'm actually hoping that in January we're hoping to get back in the studio, and we'll probably pick up a residency somewhere here in Nashville, or we'll be playing on a regular basis. And we try to live day by day. You never know. We're open, so for any new possibilities. So we're really excited. Who knows what the future holds?
Yeah. Now, people can pick up the album on iTunes and Spotify and anywhere they want to get anywhere they want to download it as well, where they ever had access to it. Tell me, where they can find more information.
Okay, so if you go to Facebook, you can find us at Flat River Band or Flat River Music. Those are both our pages. You can go to flatriverband.com, and that's our website. You can go, if you go to Spotify, we're on there under Flat River Band. iTunes is Flat River Band. Amazon, you can find us just about anywhere you can find music. Any music retailer, you can find our music. Yeah,
if you go to the website, you can check out their social media as well. Their Facebook, their Twitter, their Instagram as well. So, so I mean, it's great to be able to see all the successes that you guys are having. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens to you guys next year. When you get back in the studio and get some of the music going. Anything else you want to add?
No, I appreciate you having us on, and we love Vegas, so maybe we'll get out there and play sometime. I'd love to.
Yeah, I mean, especially during rodeo week, because the fans out here, absolutely love their music, especially during that time. So hopefully you can maybe hit one of the stages down here when next year when Christmas time hits.
That'd be awesome, man.
After the break, we'll be talking to One Up Duo. You may know my next guests from the Team Kelly on The Voice. Absolutely great singers, and they have a new Christmas single out. I mean, it was just unbelievable to be able to have these guys on. One Up Duo is on with us right now. How you doing, guys?
Good, how are you?
I mean, I was just watching your battle with Kim on the show before we went on the air, and it was just unbelievable to be able to see, that kind of performance. I mean, I know it's supposed to be a battle for position, but you guys really kind of melded pretty well.
Yes, yeah. Well, that's exactly what we were going for. To be honest, we we never looked at that as a battle because we didn't want to seem like we were singing at each other. We wanted it to seem like more of a group effort, and I feel like we did a pretty good job of that, which was we were really proud of it.
Yeah. And she was so amazing to work with. Like, she's such an incredible vocalist, and we were a little nervous when we got paired with her because we knew from everyone on our team that she was the one that everyone was kind of revering as this like big powerhouse vocalist. No one really wanted to go up against her.
Yeah, I mean, did you learn a lot being on Team Kelly, and did Kelly really give you really solid advice? And, tell me a little bit about that, just working with her.
She really helped us to push ourselves more than anything. First of all, Kelly is awesome. She's exactly how you would imagine her to be in real life. She's super bubbly, so warm, so comforting, and she gave some great advice, especially in our battle round, where she would change a couple of things, which it was kind of a quick turnaround because our battle was the next day. But she was really awesome, and she was very attentive. She was great. We learned a lot just about ourselves during that show because that was the first time that we were singing together as a unit, like on a stage.
Yeah, Kelly's going to be down here for a residency, I think, in the spring. So hopefully they'll bring you out.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, we gotta come. We gotta go check it out for sure.
I know they'd absolutely love you out here in Vegas. I mean, I think there's definitely an audience for you guys out here as well. I mean, like I said, it's great to be able to see that, to see a duo like yourself kind of be on The Voice and to be able to be, I won't say pioneers, but, really kind of be out there to really kind of lift up and be the first same-sex duo to be a part of The Voice. I mean, tell me a little bit about that and kind of some of the feedback that you guys got once you were on the show.
I mean, that part was the most incredible part to us, is that we got to go out there and just be ourselves, which was, just such a key to that show is just being confident in who you are as an artist, as a performer, because it shows through your performance. And I think for both of us growing up, mostly in the 90s, you're kind of taught as a young gay person, or even if you're closeted, to hide a part of yourself and to not let people see that. But we were just able to be on national television, on that stage, loving each other, being exactly who we are, and reaching people that we never would have been able to reach. We were able to touch the hearts of people that maybe have kids that just came out to them as gay, or kids that haven't even come out yet that felt like they got to see role models of a certain type for the first time on a show like that. I mean, there's so many facets to it, and we never took an ounce of it for granted because it was just like, it was really surreal mostly. And even since then, I mean, the fact that we've been able to carry on and just be ourselves and know that we can encourage other people to do the same thing is just such a huge blessing. And that was the reason that we chose Kelly as our coach, is because she got that when she saw our blind audition. She turned around and saw us together with our family, which was multiracial and all ages and gay and straight and all this stuff, and she saw it as this beautiful picture of love. And that's at the center of our message, is just promoting love and knowing that it's never going to look the same for two people.
Well, tell me a little bit about, how you guys got together, and, a little bit about your musical background. Was it, kind of, how did you start getting, your love of music, you probably earlier on in your guys' lives?
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, I started singing when I was about 2 or 3 years old. This is Jerome, by the way. Anytime you hear the deeper, raspier voice, that would be me.
No. And then I talk all the way up here.
I've been singing since I was about 3 years old, and pretty consistently from the time I was about 12 until now, which has been really awesome. But I mean, this adventure, now that I get to sing and perform with my husband, is just beyond anything I could have ever imagined.
Yeah, in my journey, I started singing